welcome. David Levin here, Raising Your Game Today. This is Tuesday, so we're talking about the mental game of sports and competition. Fridays are for the rest of our lives. This week, I want to talk about Coco Gauff, the great young American tennis player who won the French Open this past week. I'm generally a fan of Aryna Sabalenka because she was in the Breakpoint tennis documentary I enjoyed on Netflix, and Coco beat her for the title, but I'm still super happy to see Coco win. And it seems like a lot of people are. By all accounts, she's just a lovely, genuine person, which makes people want to root for her. After her win, she was in the stands celebrating with people. When she got her trophy, she gave high fives and posed with pictures with the ball kids from the match. She let them hold her trophy. Imagine what a thrill that must have been for them. So that's just really nice. A great feeling, a happy moment, a great success. But there are also some pretty great lessons in her win for the rest of us. First, the article talks about what a breakthrough she's had mentally, and specifically mentions her having imposter syndrome. Think about that for a minute. Coco Gauff has struggled with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, of course, is when we don't think we deserve to be in the position we're in, right? We feel we don't know what we're doing, we're not good enough. Sooner or later, people are going to find out and kick us out. Coco Gauff has been a tennis star since she was 10 years old. She's 21 now, which is also incredible just on its own. But for most of her life, everyone around her has told her she's one of the best tennis players in the world. And it's not just people's opinion. She has demonstrated that she is one of the best players. She beat Venus Williams, another great, at Wimbledon when she was 15. At 21 now, she's 2 Grand Slam titles already. She has over $27 million in prize money. Of all the people in the world to have imposter syndrome, you would not expect her to be one of them, right? Because it makes no sense, right? It's simply not possible to see all that and think she doesn't deserve to be where she is. So the lesson is, if she can struggle with imposter syndrome, anyone can. It's obviously not a matter of reality. It's just our weird human psychology. There's something in our nature that makes us feel that in spite of all the evidence to the contrary. And we all struggle with it. So if you find yourself feeling it, don't engage with it. Don't take it to heart. Don't take it personally. Just notice it there and say, okay, I see. There goes my big brain again. And shut it down, okay? It's not reality. Lesson number 2, you don't have to be an asshole to be great. Why does that need to be said? Because we tend to think it might be true, because there are a lot of examples of times when it is. I'm reminded of the comment from Toto Wolff, the head of Mercedes Formula One racing, saying he's never seen a truly great driver who wasn't also a broken person. That's a remarkable statement. And I do think there's something to it. Not to have to be a jerk necessarily, but at that level of competition and pressure, the amount of drive and work it takes to be that good is not something a normal person is frequently willing to do, right? They're just not. Or they have to start so young that they don't get a normal childhood, which affects the kind of adult they become. And of course, tennis is an especially brutal mental game, arguably the hardest mental game. So it's not a crazy thing to think this might be true, that you do actually have to be sort of a jerk to be great. And so looking at ourselves, it's also not crazy to think maybe I don't have the killer instinct it takes to play at the level I want. But then you see a Coco Gauff who seems to be a basically normal, healthy person, which shows us that we can be that too. Just because some of the best may not always be the kind of person we want to be doesn't mean we can't get as far as we want while remaining true to ourselves. This sort of ties back to imposter syndrome, right? I don't see myself as enough of a killer to deserve to be here. But again, that's just a story your brain's telling you, right? You can absolutely go as far as you want being the good and normal person you are. In fact, you'll probably go farther being who you really are than trying to be someone you're not. It's not about being a jerk. It's just about putting in the work. The third lesson is that work includes working on your mental game. And most important, working on specific mental game skills and techniques. The mistake most people make in coaching the mental game is that we really just share concepts and ideas. You shouldn't think that. That's not helpful. Think this instead. You can do it. You're a winner. Forget about your mistake. That's history. Just focus on the process and the moment. And they're all good suggestions. The problem is they don't tell you how to actually do any of them, right? So you're left with, okay, sure, don't dwell on a mistake. Makes sense. But when the thought comes into my head, what do I do about that? How do I keep from thinking unhelpful thoughts? They never tell you that. But there are ways to do it. Specific, practical mental game skills. You can learn them and practice them like any other skills. In the article, they talk about one particular thing Coco did in this tournament that I thought was great. Basically, she wrote down on a piece of paper over and over again, I will win French Open 2025. Not, a vague affirmation like I'm a winner, I'm strong, nothing like that. Just very specific and forward-looking. I will win this tournament. And she kept that paper in her bag and she repeated the thought to herself between games. That's a powerful technique. Now, I will say this, it's only likely to work if it's realistic. I could write that as many times as I want and repeat it to myself. I'm still not going to win the French Open. But as long as it's realistic, it can be a helpful technique. And there are many more things like that we teach, for example, in our advanced mental game mastery training. I'll also say, though, that the core mental game skills, cognitive control, emotional self-regulation, impulse control, those should be the first steps. Those are the foundation. And those are what are in our Raise Your Game Sports Academy course. But once you have those, there are many helpful and specific techniques you can learn and practice and incorporate into your game. And if you don't learn practical skills like those, you will almost certainly not play up to your potential. So that's lesson number 3. You have to work on your mental game and do it with specific skills, not just motivational concepts and suggestions. So those are the lessons from Coco Gauff this week. If she struggles with imposter syndrome, don't feel bad if you do too. Just know that it's not reality and set those thoughts aside. Don't worry that you're not enough of a jerk to get where you want to go. It's not about that. It's about being yourself and putting in the work, and make sure that work includes learning practical mental game skills and techniques. Reminder, you can learn about our mental game training at raiseyourgame.com. Otherwise, that's it for Mental Game Lessons, Coco Gauff. Let me know any questions. Keep up the good work. I'll see you next time.